Revealed. The Beggar Girl's heartwarming wish, an incredible twist transforms her life forever. On the very same block where dreams often slipped through the cracks, 12-year-old Lily stood on the sidewalk, eyes shimmering with hope. Her mother lay sick at home, too weak to even break a smile. Each day, Lily walked the urban streets with her heart in her throat, holding out a trembling hand, begging strangers for spare change. The weight of her family's survival rested heavily on her thin shoulders. Every coin dropped into her palm was a lifeline. But what made Lily different was the spark gleaming in her bright eyes, a spark unfazed by the shadows of her neighborhood. The warmth of the community wrapped around her. People shared what little they could. A loaf of bread here, a warm meal there. They were all in this together, united against the harsh realities of life. Still, deep down, Lily longed for more than just survival. She yearned for knowledge, for an education that could lift her and her mother from this cycle of despair. She dreamed of being accepted into a local art school, where she could pour her soul into creating beauty and change. The tension built inside her. Should she keep begging to scrape together enough for those daily essentials? Or should she take a risk and apply for that scholarship? Time was running out, and her mother's health was plummeting like the autumn leaves tumbling down. Lily's heart raced, feeling trapped in an unbearable dilemma. Then came a day when Mr. Thompson, a business owner with a reputation for pious criticism, strolled by and cast a withering gaze at her. "Why don't you put your talents to better use?" he snapped, igniting a wave of anger and frustration from the other neighbors. His judgment stung. Didn't he see the struggle? Didn't he understand that not every dream is woven from privilege? That moment cracked open a wound in the community, threatening their unity with a nasty divide. Before the dust of that confrontation could settle, something remarkable happened. A local war veteran took it upon himself to organize a surprise fundraiser. It was an act of kindness as unexpected as a summer rain. People came together, and laughter filled the streets again, despite the hardships. But the moment was short-lived. Whispers of betrayal soon emerged, eroding the trust between neighbors. Who could you count on when even kindness had an agenda? It all spiraled when Lily, in her turmoil, faced Mr. Thompson. Heart tight in her chest, she laid bare her life, her hopes, her fears. "You think I want to beg? I want to learn. I want my mom to be proud." The raw pain in her words challenged the unspoken barriers around them. This bold confrontation ignited a powerful discussion about respect and opportunity that rippled through the neighborhood, infusing hope. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue with sparks flying around her. Lily's bravery galvanized the community into taking action. They began to rally, wanting to support her dream, but an unexpected twist threatened to undo it all. As news spread about her confrontation, not everyone was moved. Some still clung to prejudice. Lily, the girl begging on the streets, had unwittingly ignited a fire of resilience in her neighborhood. But would it be enough to unite them in a meaningful way, or would despair, once more, dim the light of hope she had ignited? The answer loomed. The sun hung low in the sky, its golden hues casting long shadows across the pavement where Lily stood. Her heart raced as she felt the weight of the world pressing down on her small frame. After her confrontation with Mr. Thompson, word had spread quickly, drawing a mix of curiosity and skepticism among the neighbors. Some believed in her. Others, however, remained entrenched in their judgments, unwilling to pull back their curtains of prejudice. As people started to gather, whispers fluttered like anxious birds. Lily could feel their eyes on her, some filled with admiration, others with disdain. Unsure of where she stood in this tangled web of emotion, she clenched her fists, digging her nails into her palms as she braced herself. A local teacher, Ms. Harpers, stepped forward. She was known for her kindness, often extending a hand to those in need. "Everyone, please, let us listen to Lily," she called, her voice cutting through the murmurs. "She has shown us courage, and we owe it to her to really hear what she has to say." Lily looked up. Ms. Harper's encouraging smile ignited a flicker of hope in her heart. Maybe she could turn this tide. Taking a shaky breath, she stepped into the middle of the circle that had formed. "I just want to learn," she started, her voice wavering at first but growing firmer with each word. "I want to create. I want my art to speak for those of us who felt voiceless. If I can't have a chance, will any of us?" The crowd was silent, the tension palpable. Then, a voice broke through Paul, a local baker whose warm pastries had sustained many through tough winters. "We've all seen how hard Lily works. We should support her. This community has talent. Let us nurture it." This time, murmurs of agreement surged through the crowd. Lily felt the swell of excitement lift her spirits. People began to speak up, sharing stories of their own struggles and how art had touched their lives. The air, thick with vulnerability, transformed into a shared momentum. But then, just as hope started to blossom like wildflowers in spring, Mr. Thompson approached once again, his posture rigid. "Are you saying you'll give this girl special treatment?" he scoffed. "What makes her different from anyone else facing hard times?" Before anyone could respond, Lily took a step closer to him. "Mr. Thompson, I'm just asking for an opportunity," she said, all the determination she could muster. "We all face struggles, but dreams should never be limited by where we come from. If we stand together, we can lift each other." A ripple of applause broke out. Encouragement erupted like fireworks. Mr. Thompson's expression faltered, confusion evident on his face. For a moment, the walls he had built around himself cracked. But then, someone stepped back, shaking their head. "What if she fails? What if we put all our energy into this, and she doesn't become the artist she dreams of?" The doubt hung in the air, bitter like unsweetened coffee. The celebration of hope wavered. Could Lily withstand the scrutiny? Could her dream truly unite a fractured community? A collective pause settled around them, and the silence grew thicker, laden with tension. Lily's heart beat louder than ever, echoing within her. The stakes couldn't be higher. This was not just about her anymore. It was about all of them. As she looked into the eyes of her neighbors, both supporters and doubters, a singular thought pierced through the uncertainty. Could she inspire them all? Not just for herself, but for the whole community? The answer danced just out of reach. What would happen next? Lily stood there, caught in the moment, the murmurs weaving around her like an intricate tapestry. The weight of those eyes pressed harder against her chest. Miss Harper's clapped again, drawing attention back to her. "Remember, every artist begins somewhere. Let us not forget the beauty in giving people a chance." The cheers started as soft as a breeze, but quickly grew into a wave that rolled through the crowd. It felt like a protective shield wrapping around Lily. She could barely contain the warmth blooming in her heart. There was something magical in the air, a sense she had never felt before, a connection among them. But then doubt filtered back in, like a stubborn fog that wouldn't lift. "It's easy to celebrate dreams," Mr. Thompson interrupted, his voice sharp. "But reality is much harsher." He took a deep breath as everyone fell silent again, waiting for his next words. "If she fails, it could hurt us all. What will you say when she doesn't make it?" A wave of discontent rippled through the crowd, and Lily's heart sank. She didn't want to let them down. What if he was right? What if she couldn't live up to their hopes? The fear glanced at her hope, sharpening it into something painful. Through the noise, Paul stepped forward, his brow creased with determination. "What if she shines? What if the community blooms because we believed in her?" His voice rose, igniting some flickering lights of courage among the neighbors. Their eyes darted from Paul to Lily, seeking confirmation. Could she really be that spark? Hesitantly, Lily nodded, letting hope unfurl inside her chest. "I won't let anyone down. Promise. Give me a chance to show myself." Encouragement buzzed again, louder this time. A couple of hands began to clap, followed by more. Lily felt that distant dream come closer, charging her with energy. The support bolstered her confidence, opening up new pathways she once thought were forever closed. But then a voice cried out from the back. "This is reckless. You can't waste our town's time and resources on a dream." A chill ran through her. Could one voice drown out the rest? Would her fragile momentum shatter? As the crowd festered between uncertainty and belief, Lily felt the weight shift to her. "I want this more than anything. And if I fail, I'll own that failure. But I need to know I tried." Her heart raced. Silence descended deeper than before. It became a delicate canvas of anticipation. Would they accept this final plea? Ms. Harper stepped closer, placing her hand gently on Lily's shoulder. "We've learned through our own struggles that lifting each other up is what truly matters." Her gaze swept over the crowd, searching for resolve. Art is about more than creating. It's about connection, community, and healing. It's our obligation to provide support. Lily took a deep breath, searching each face for signs of empathy. Ramona, a single mother known for her resilience, nodded slowly. "If you believe in yourself, maybe we should give you that chance." Just then, Mr. Thompson's fingers tightened at his sides. He stood visibly torn, an internal battle waging within. "I don't know if this is wise," he started, the uncertainty uncharacteristically fuzzy in his voice. Suddenly, he faltered, the battle within showing on his worn face. For all the noise, Lily felt like she was standing at a crossroads. Each twist and turn led deeper into the unknown. As the murmurs grew again, signaling a community starting to coalesce, the question loomed in the air like a ripe fruit ready to fall. Was she truly capable of rallying this fractured crowd into believing in the power of dreams? Then she caught Mr. Thompson's eyes again, a glimmer of something softening in his stern gaze. "What if you fail, Lily?" he asked, his voice quieter, almost gentle. Lily's heart beat like a drum echoing in her ears. "Then I'll try again," she said, each word resonating with fierce truth. "But I need you to believe I can first." The crowd held its breath, the tension charging the atmosphere. Would they allow her to dare? Would they let hope march forward, or would fear wind the path back? And just like that, the moment hung in the air. It was now or never. What would it take for her dream to ignite a spark in Mr. Thompson? Lily's heart beat in her throat as she looked around the crowd, a mix of eagerness and apprehension swirling in her gut. She spotted familiar faces, friends, neighbors, people she'd grown up with, but they were all suddenly so much more than just the residents of her small town. They were now her examiners, her supporters, and potentially her hope. Mr. Thompson's gaze hadn't wavered. Instead, it held an intensity, as if he were weighing her very soul against the gravity of the question hanging between them. "What if you fail?" echoed in her ears. It felt heavy, but somewhere in her, a flicker ignited. She had to believe. She had to. "I'm ready," she said, voice steadier than she felt. "Ready to take that risk." With that, the crowd stirred. She sensed a shift. A collective exhalation ran through them. Faces began to soften. Whispers of encouragement blossomed. People leaned in, drawn closer by her resolve. Even Mr. Thompson seemed to instinctively inch forward, curiosity flickering in his eyes. A ripple of laughter broke through the tension when one of the younger kids shouted, "I believe in you, Lily." It was light-hearted and innocent, but it cut through the heaviness enveloping them. A small wave of laughter followed, as if someone had lifted a stone from their collective chest. Lily's lips curled into a smile. If this child could believe, why couldn't she? The moment was hers. "I promise I'll give it everything I have," she called out, emboldened by their reactions. "And if I stumble, I'll learn from it. Together, we'll keep trying until we succeed." The crowd erupted into cheers again, spontaneous and true. They rallied behind her, lifting her spirit higher. Paul was beaming, she could see it from where she stood, his faith fortifying her resolve even more. But as the jubilance washed over her, Lily found herself stealing glances at Mr. Thompson. His expression was still carefully guarded, like an impenetrable fortress. What more would it take to reach the heart behind his fear? What could she say to reveal the dreams he had tucked away behind those walls? Mr. Thompson, she began, swallowing her trepidation. You seem to have a lot at stake. I get it. What it means to hope, to fear losing what you value. But isn't this about all of us? Isn't it worth the risk? He held her gaze, a battle still evident in the lines etched on his face. The silence stretched, vulnerability hanging in the air. Lily, he finally said, his voice gravelly. This isn't just about you. It's bigger than all of us. The town relies on stability. I've seen dreams crash and burn. I can't let that happen again. You don't know what's on the line. And neither do you, if you don't let anyone try to chase them, she replied, her voice echoing with determination. The response from the crowd felt electric. They sensed the clash of ideals. Tension held them at the crossroads, all wishing for that flicker of understanding to glow even brighter. Let me prove to you that hope can spark change, she said, her heart racing. Mr. Thompson blinked, the shutters on his heart slowly creaking open. And if it fails, if you truly crash? Lily took a deep breath, mustering her courage. Then you can tell me, I told you so, and I'll be okay with that. But I'd rather fight for my dream and fail than never try at all. The crowd reacted, a ripple of murmurs and nods unfolding. Hope surged anew, a wave ready to crash against the shore of self-doubt. Anyone else out there feel ready? She asked, casting a look across faces now gleaming with possibilities. Let us see what we can do together. There was a moment's hesitation. Then one by one, hands began to rise. The excitement was palpable. Lily's heart swelled. The transformation had begun, yet Mr. Thompson stood still in his doubts. Just give me a chance, she whispered, more to herself than anyone else. It was a soft promise, a wish that linked her now to everyone watching. What would it take for Mr. Thompson to finally let go of his fears and embrace this journey with her? The question lingered in the air, both a challenge and a beacon, as possibilities twinkled on the horizon. As the cheers of the crowd echoed around her, Lily felt the warmth of their hope cocoon her. Each clap and cheer propelled her forward, lighting a path through uncertainty. She was no longer just a girl standing on a stage. She was a beacon, a voice for change that swelled within her. Her mind raced, brainstorming ideas, imagining what they could accomplish. This was the moment she had yearned for, and she was ready. Well, Mr. Thompson finally said, his voice softer, almost contemplative. I've seen work like this attempted before. It's not easy, and the stakes are high. What makes you think things will be different this time? His words landed heavy in the air, and the crowd grew quieter, hanging on his every syllable. Lily could sense the tension rising again. It was as if a storm was brewing just beneath the surface. But instead of feeling discouraged, she leaned into the challenge. Because this time we're different, she replied with conviction, meeting his gaze head-on. We have each other. This community is alive with ideas and passion. Look around. People want to dream again, and we'll do it together. I refuse to think about failure when I see courage all around me. We're not just a group, we're a family, a movement. And movements change everything. A spark ignited in the crowd as Lily's words sank in. Heads nodded, and some murmured their agreement, eyes shining with newfound determination. However, she could still see the flicker of hesitation dancing in Mr. Thompson's eyes. It was a fire that needed stoking. What would it look like if we succeeded? She asked, voice weaving through the silence, caressing their imaginations. Imagine a new community garden where kids learn to grow food. Picture a revived town square filled with laughter, art, music, a place where dreams bloom. What if, instead of fear holding us back, we let hope guide us? Wouldn't that be worth a shot? Faces around her brightened, lit by possibilities that seemed to emerge from the shadows. She took a cautious step forward, closing the distance between herself and Mr. Thompson. I want you to believe, too. You've been carrying the weight for so long, it's time to share it. Let us lift you up. The crowd clamored, voices chiming in with encouragement. Yes, we believe, shouted a voice from the back. Together we can do it. Mr. Thompson's facade began to crack. The tight lines on his forehead softened, revealing a flicker of something almost imperceptible, a flicker of hope. Lily pressed on, passionate and fierce. Let us redefine what stability means for our community together. What do you say? Suddenly, the weight of Mr. Thompson's doubts seemed to shift, as if she had pried open the door just enough for a ray of light to seep through. But still, he stood hesitant. What if it all crumbles? He asked, vulnerability coloring his voice. Then we'll rebuild piece by piece, she responded with fiery conviction. Not just you or me, but all of us. We won't face it alone. We'll find strength in our love for this town, in our connection. I promise you we won't stop trying until we get it right. A tense moment floated, suspended in the air. Mr. Thompson looked out at the crowd, then back at Lily, and for the first time, he seemed to expand into the idea of letdown and hope. Lily held her breath, wondering if he could break down the walls that protected his fears. And in that powerful silence, an unexpected sound broke, a solitary clap, hesitant at first, but then swelling into a chorus of embracing sound. A tide of voices rose, buoying their collective ambition. Finally, Mr. Thompson let out a deep breath, his shoulders sinking ever so slightly, as if a long-borne weight started to lift. All right, Lily, let us see what you've got. The crowd erupted in joyous cheers, their elation breaking any remaining barriers. Yet as the celebration echoed around her, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. The weight of excitement mingled with the uncertainty of the journey ahead, set her heart racing again. What challenges awaited them on this path? In taking the first step towards change, would their newfound hope be powerful enough to withstand the tests that lay ahead? The excitement in the air was almost electric. As cheers swept through the crowd, Lily felt their energy wrap around her, a tangible force pushing her forward. The weight of the moment surged through her body. She took a deep breath, scanning the faces around her. Hope intertwined with uncertainty shone in their eyes. Let us get started, she shouted, raising her arms high, signaling for everyone to gather closer. We're going to make this community our own again. But first, I need your ideas. What do you want to see happen? Voices erupted, a cacophony of suggestions. More parks, called a woman with a bright red scarf, her enthusiasm infectious. Art workshops for kids, shouted a boy on the edge of the crowd, his youthful passion palpable. Each idea built upon the last, creating a spiraling momentum of possibility. Lily began to jot down notes on a piece of scrap paper she had pulled from her pocket. As nervous energy transformed into a focused determination, she felt like an orchestra conductor, spirit pulsing through her veins as she encouraged each new thought. As the din of voices swelled, Mr. Thompson watched, his brow furrowing deeper as he assessed this newly ignited whirlwind. Slowly, he stepped closer to Lily, his eyes flickering with concern. But where do we find the resources? He asked, cutting through the melody of excitement. Change takes money, and right now we barely have enough for our basic needs. Lily felt her stomach twist. The harsh reality of financial limitations loomed large. But she firmly believed they could find a way. There are grants and sponsorships. We can fundraise. There are people out there who want to invest in our community, she exclaimed, confidence bubbling up inside her. Mr. Thompson nodded slowly. She could see the gears in his mind turning, the possibility beginning to dance across his face. All right, let us say we get some funds, then we dream even bigger, Lily interjected, her voice rising with conviction. We'll turn this place into a haven where everyone feels they belong. A place where kids run free and families enjoy the beauty around them. The crowd roared in approval, but among the cheers, Lily noticed an older man standing in the back, his face cut by the shadows of doubt. With a heart full of compassion, she stepped away from her makeshift podium and wandered toward him. Sir, she said softly, what's on your mind? He hesitated before speaking, and she held her breath. I've seen too many plans like this fizzle out. It's hard to believe. What if we put all this energy into it and it still doesn't work? Lily felt the weight of his sadness resonate within her. What if it does work? She countered gently. What if, together, We breathe life into our dreams. Every journey starts with the first step, even if it is a small one. His face softened, the corners of his mouth twitching uncertainly. You really believe that? Absolutely, she said, sincerity radiating from her heart. Our strength lies in our unity. We owe it to ourselves to try, to believe even against the odds. Besides, she leaned in conspiratorially, what's life without a little risk? With that, a smile broke through his skepticism. The tension seemed to lift, replaced by a flicker of hope. As dusk began to fall, painting the sky in deep oranges and purples, a new warmth bloomed in Lily's chest. So, we'll hold a meeting this weekend, she declared, looking back at Mr. Thompson for affirmation. Let us gather input, find resources, and work on our first project together. Who's in? Hands shot up, and cheers followed, enthusiasm echoing in the twilight. But just as excitement reached a fever pitch, a sharp voice sliced through the air. What if you fail? It was a young woman, her anger like a storm cloud hovering over them. Lily's heart raced. What if we do? She shot back, adrenaline coursing through her. But why can't we take the chance? Why let fear dictate our future? Silence fell like a thick blanket, the weight of her question hanging in the air, waiting for someone to break it. What would happen if they ventured forward, feet first, into the unknown? Would courage outshine their fears? As the crowd shifted, eager faces looked at one another, waiting for someone to answer the question that lingered. A moment of vulnerability. A chance for vulnerability to transform them. What they didn't realize was that the real challenge had just begun. How would they confront their fears, and at what cost would that journey come? The crowd stood suspended in time, caught between hesitation and hope. Lily's breath caught as she met the eyes of the young woman, searching for any sign of a shift in the tide. It hung in the air like a challenge, a dare to disrupt the comfort of the ordinary. Then, a man stepped forward, his voice steady yet touched with vulnerability. Maybe we have to address those fears. What if we lay everything on the table? The past failures, the fears of the future? His words acted like gentle nudges, urging others to step out of their shells. Absolutely, Lily encouraged, eager to harness the momentum. If we're going to do this, let us do it honestly. Let us talk about what has held us back before and how we can tackle those issues together. A chorus of heads nodded, and the young woman's brows furrowed with the struggle tearing at her heart. It's not just about optimism. It's about reality. We've lost so much. Can we really bring it back? Her voice cracked, and the sincerity washed over the crowd, drawing them closer. Real change isn't just sunshine and rainbows, Mr. Thompson added, his voice low but firm. It requires sacrifices. We need to be ready to work hard and face the setbacks. Lily felt a surge of respect for him. His honesty struck a chord, and she realized they were all standing at the same precipice, frightened yet willing to leap together. Yes, she affirmed passionately. Facing the truth is part of our journey. We will have roadblocks, no doubt. But what if every setback is actually a step toward a stronger community? Each scar tells a story, but we can write a new chapter. An excited murmur swept through the crowd as people turned towards one another, sharing their fears but also their dreams. Each voice added texture to the tapestry of their shared experiences. Let us hear it then, Lily urged, a warm smile igniting in her heart. What has been keeping you up at night? What have you lost hope for? She raised her hands, giving them permission to speak freely, to share their hearts without reservation. A woman named Clara stepped forward, her eyes glistening. My husband lost his job last year. We've been struggling to make ends meet. I want to feel safe in my own neighborhood again. I want my kids to be able to play without me worrying every second. Her voice broke at the end, and the crowd rallied around her, a chorus of encouragement echoing through the gathering. One by one, others began to share. The fear of rising crime rates, the shame of closing businesses, the loss of community meetings once filled with laughter and friendship. It filled the air, creating a dense fog of raw emotion. Lily inhaled deeply, heart racing. This is good. This is healing. she exclaimed, squeezing Clara's arm in support. We can build a foundation based on understanding and support. As the session progressed, the initial tension melted into a powerful camaraderie. There was no longer just a leader and followers. They were weaving a story together. Lily realized the transformative power of shared vulnerability. They could build plans around the fears they openly acknowledged. But just then, a voice rang out from the back. It was a frail, older man with graying hair. It's all good to want these changes, but what if we don't have what it takes to make them happen? Lily met his gaze, feeling the weight of every word. Her heart raced again. What if they couldn't? But before she could answer, a ripple of voices erupted from the group, each one answering with conviction. We'll try. We've made it this far together. We've got each other's backs. The energy swelled like a wave, rising higher and higher until it felt like anything was possible. And yet, beneath it all, that question lingered in her mind. Would they really have what it took to turn these dreams into reality? As excitement danced in the air and plans started to form, Lily gripped her notepad, heart pounding with anticipation. But poised on the verge of change, she could feel the shadows of doubt creeping closer, reminding her of the dangers that lay ahead. What would they discover about themselves when they dared to step beyond their fears? The next meeting loomed, and with it, the weight of expectations, their dreams hanging in the balance, waiting for the spark that could ignite them into something more or extinguish the flame before it ever truly began. The air buzzed with an electric tension as Lily returned to her notes. Each anxious heartbeat echoed the unspoken fears nestled deep within everyone. They had shared their dreams, but now came the task of turning sentiments into action. What if they stumbled? What if one step toward change sent them tumbling back into doubt? The crowd murmured softly, a blend of hope and trepidation swirling in their voices. Clara wiped tears from her cheeks as she took her seat, the fiery urgency of her sharing still blazing in her eyes. It inspired others to speak up, igniting an ember of courage. I used to believe we could create something beautiful together. It was Mr. Thompson again, his voice steady despite the vulnerability underneath. But it feels like year after year we've hit a wall. He paused, scanning the crowd. What if we fail again? Failure isn't the end. It's a stepping stone. Lily countered, her voice bright and firm. She stepped closer to him, hoping to offer reassurance. Each time we stumble, we learn. And we can keep going. Slow nods exchanged across the group. Everyone needed that reminder. In that moment, vulnerability became a bridge, uniting them in a silent pact. As dusk began to settle, shadows danced beneath the glow of the street lamps. A small child tugged at her mother's sleeve, eyes wide and innocent. Are they gonna fix the town, Mommy? Her question hung like a heavy thread in the air. Lily's heart sank. There it was, a mirror to the adult's uncertainty. The child's hope shone like a beacon through the chaos. Yes, sweetheart. A man at the front answered, his voice rising tenderly above the murmur. We're going to try. You can help us. With a smile, Lily encouraged the child. What would you like to see in our town? The child's eyes sparkled with possibilities. A playground, and maybe some flowers. Laughter burst through the group, a healing sound rising against the backdrop of their worries. As they began to brainstorm, ideas flowed like water. A community garden, art fairs, cleanup days, all that echoed was the sound of their dreams weaving into something tangible. With each suggestion, Lily felt more hope swell within her. This wasn't just about tackling fears, but about reigniting the love for their community. These are great ideas, but we need volunteers. Who can lend a hand? Hands shot up, some trembling with excitement, others quivering with nerves. Faces transformed as blooming hope washed over them. But just as they dove into a passionate discussion, a different voice rang out from the back. What if they laugh at us? What if nothing changes? It was the young woman from earlier, illusions of hope clashing with harsh realities. For a moment, silence filled the space, pressing down like a heavy weight. Full of trepidation, a tight knot formed in Lily's stomach. What if they do? She challenged gently, meeting the woman's gaze. But what if we inspire someone? What if we show our kids that it's okay to dream? A ripple of agreement followed, sparking a warmth that enveloped them. It was a reminder that together, they were stronger, and what mattered was the effort they put into their struggle. As the chatter faded into quiet reflection, Lily knew they were still at a crossroads. The flame of hope flickered, but was it enough to light the way? Each person sat with their thoughts, the weight of the unknown looming ahead. What if they took the leap only to fall short? As the gathering came to an end, each left with a piece of the puzzle tucked into their hearts, uncertain but willing. And once again, that question fluttered back into Lily's mind. Would they have the courage to turn their dreams into reality? The sky, darkening into a canvas of deep blues and purples, hinted at the growing shadows of the challenges lurking ahead. As the first stars twinkled above, Lily turned to leave, an ache tugging her back. What if the next meeting uncovered more than just preferences? What if it revealed the depth of their determination? The next day dawned gray and overcast, mirroring the doubts that still clung to Lily's thoughts. She brewed a pot of coffee, the familiar smell grounding her amid the whirlwind of anxiety. Each sip felt like a push, a gentle reminder to not shy away from the challenge ahead. The gathering had planted a seed, but she could almost feel the weight of its expectations pressing down on her. "Good morning, Lily." Clara's cheerful voice broke through the haze. The two of them were alone in the small cafe. The only sounds were the soft hum of the espresso machine and the clattering of dishes. "I talked to my neighbor last night. She's excited to help with the garden." Lily's heart warmed at Clara's enthusiasm. "That's amazing. One person at a time, right? But we need to spread the word." Clara nodded vigorously. "We should make flyers. Get everyone involved." Just as they mapped out the layout for their flyers, the door swung open. A familiar figure walked in. Mr. Thompson, his face etched with determination. He approached their table, the usual doubts replaced by urgency. "I couldn't stop thinking about our meeting," he admitted, lowering his voice as if to share a secret. "I've been reworking those ideas. What if we created a weekly farmers market? Could gather the community, support local farmers." Lily's excitement surged. "That could be incredible. Ties everything together: engagements, food, fun." It's perfect. Their energy was contagious as ideas collided in the small space, drawing attention from patrons around them. Soon, the cafe buzzed with the spirit of change. They were no longer just three people hoping for ideas. They were a spark igniting a community. Suddenly, Lily's phone buzzed. A message from the community group chat pinged through, breaking the momentary euphoria. "We should address the skeptics before we move forward," it read. "Let us not set ourselves up for disappointment." Her stomach twisted, doubt seeping through the excitement like a slow leak. Could they really inspire the same hope they felt at the meeting? Or was it just wishful thinking? "Lily?" Clara's voice snapped her back. "Hey, what are you thinking?" Lily forced a smile, but inside, she felt a tempest. "Just wondering how everyone will react." "Not everyone's on board yet." "Then we need to show them what this can be," Clara exclaimed. "We're not going to win everyone over by only talking, we'll show them in action. Let us organize a kickoff event, something fun to draw people in." The idea lit a flame within Lily again. "Yes, a celebration to announce our plans and get people talking. We can make it a community day: games, music." Mr. Thompson leaned in, his eyes sparkling with the potential of the event. "And we can encourage local businesses to participate. Could foster such collaboration." As they tossed ideas around, a wave of optimism crested over them, soaring higher than the doubts that lingered in the corners. Their voices blended into a harmony of hope and enthusiasm, and for the moment, the weight of uncertainty lifted. But then Lily paused, her energy waning. What would it take to turn this fantasy into sharing success with the whole town? "Let us pitch the idea during our next meeting," she suggested, but her voice dipped slightly. What if no one shows up? The question hung like a heavy cloud, a reminder of the risks ahead. What if their hard work didn't translate into the results they yearned for? As their brainstorming continued, Lily's mind raced ahead. Could they genuinely harness the community's spirit and create something beautiful? Or would their dreams be lost like whispers in the wind? All she knew was this. They had started something, but the real challenge was still to come. Would they have the courage to face what lay ahead? With excitement brewing in her heart yet uncertainty clinging stubbornly to her thoughts, Lily prepared for the next meeting. Nothing would change unless they dared to leap into the unknown. And as she walked out of the cafe, determination renewed, she felt that first gentle twinge of hope. But would that hope last long enough to inspire her town? The morning light spilled softly onto the street where Lily stood, surrounded by familiar faces eager to support her dream. Above, the sky painted a hopeful blue, as if echoing the burgeoning resolve in her heart. Today would be the day they launched their community play day. Her vision was finally coming to life. "Remember, this isn't just about us," Lily called out, her voice dancing among the crowd gathered in the town square. Children giggled, adults chatted, and the air was rich with laughter and budding excitement. It's South about rebuilding this place together. The energy was infectious. Clara stood beside her, beaming with pride. Paul and Ms. Harpers were at the sound system, organizing music for the celebration. Mr. Thompson, standing a little apart, appeared contemplative yet hopeful, absorbed in the atmosphere of community. "Are you ready, Lily?" Clara nudged. "It's all coming together." Lily's heart fluttered with a mix of fear and exhilaration. "I think so, let us do it." With a deep breath, she stepped onto the makeshift stage, the spotlight casting warmth on her face. She scanned the crowd, noticing the varied expressions. Skepticism still lingered in some eyes, but others sparkled with curiosity and excitement. "Today marks the beginning of change," she declared, her voice steady. "Together, we'll embrace every risk to make our town a beautiful place." Cheers erupted, the kind of sound that wrapped around her like an old sweater, comforting, yet a little unfamiliar. She took half a step back, realizing it was time to bring others into the fold, to share the stage. She gestured to Mr. Thompson, who hesitated but moved forward into the spotlight, his presence commanding yet soft. "This community is full of potential," he spoke gently, the sound of his voice steadying the crowd. "Together, we'll support one another's dreams, and I'll do my part by encouraging local businesses to contribute." A wave of encouragement rippled through the crowd. Lily couldn't believe the sight of their resilience, their newfound determination washing away earlier doubts. "What about the plan for the garden? How do we get started?" a voice shouted from the back. Lily recalled the conversations over the past weeks, the ideas that blossomed from their shared vulnerability. "We'll need volunteers to help break the ground this Saturday. Everyone can pitch in, big or small." With each suggestion and voice that followed, Lily felt the community fuse together stronger than ever, old scars healing as new dreams began to take shape. As the sun climbed higher, laughter echoed through the square. Kids played games, families shared meals, and the sound of live music filled the air. Lily couldn't help but smile, feeling warmth spread through her heart. Standing at the center of this thriving moment, she noticed Mr. Thompson from afar, offering ice cream samples to a group of eager children, his stern facade lifting as laughter erupted between him and the kids. With the sun now painting the sky golden, Clara approached her, eyes shining. "You did it, Lily. Look at everyone. They're alive with possibility." But something deep within reminded Lily of the doubts they defaced. "What if this fades?" she whispered, an unexpected wave of anxiety trickling in. "What if they forget what we built here today?" Clara took her hand, squeezing it fiercely. "This is just the start. That's why we'll keep coming back together, to nurture this spark. Remember that." Feeling Clara's unwavering belief, Lily began to understand it wasn't about sustaining perfection but nurturing connection. Hope would grow through commitment, trust, and a willingness to face the storms together. As the day blossomed, Lily climbed to her makeshift stage once more, her voice ringing clear as the sun began to set. "Today isn't the end. It's only the beginning." Cheering erupted again, the sounds mixing into a symphony of encouragement. Laughter echoed like music, and Lily caught sight of Mr. Thompson, who nodded at her, a twinkle of respect shining in his eyes. They had built something beautiful, however fragile. Foundation of dreams rising from the ashes of doubt. With hearts intertwined in unity, they now stood on the cusp of change, ready to take the next step together. As evening crept in, lights twinkled above their heads, reflecting the renewed spirit of the community. With her heart full, Lily knew they wouldn't just survive, they would thrive. The journey held its uncertainties, yes, but together, they could confront whatever challenges lay ahead. "Let us go make that garden happen," she shouted with a grin, and the crowd roared with enthusiasm once more, their joy echoing into the twilight. Having reached the edge, they were ready to leap. A sense of adventure, a promise of possibility, this was their new beginning, and, in that moment, each and every one of them had embraced it. If you've been touched by this transformative story, you need to subscribe now to the channel. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like right now to keep feeding the algorithm that brings you these heartfelt tales. Comment below your reactions and feelings about the ending. You want to miss voicing your perspective. And don't wait not even one more second. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your support matters hugely. Let us spread the hope.